Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Rebel live stream. We're having some sound issues. I couldn't hear David there, so I don't think anybody else can. We'll give our producer just a few minutes to sort it out. We'll just have to fix up Menzies' mic. Sorry, David, and viewers about this. So if you're just tuning in to us here on YouTube, we will do a quick little briefing, talk about some things that the censors, the technocratic censors, deem appropriate for their platform. And then we will be shifting over to our other platforms. And I apologize that I am not often enough on the live stream, so we're working on that. But sometimes my familiarity with some of the other platforms that we use is not up to speed. So I believe we will be on Rumble, Odyssey, and SuperU. And depending on which platform you use, you can engage with us there through various monetary donations and have your say and involvement in our live stream. So it was our way of really interacting with our viewers. We started doing this daily live stream at the onset of the pandemic because the news coming out every day is absolutely insane, so hard to keep up. So we thought, what better way to keep our viewers and ourselves up to speed than do this daily live stream? And we've just kept up with it ever since. So as we're working out David's issues with the sound, oh, I am hearing that we're okay now. David, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Tamara? Can you hear me?
I can, and I hope our viewers can as well.
I'm very sorry, folks, for that. And I had such a wonderful introduction planned for you, Tamara, but sorry for those technical issues. It's one thing I learned from a professor at the Ryerson School of Journalism, and he said, if there's one thing you remember from your 3 years of studies, it's this: machines are out to screw you. So bring 2 tape recorders to that important interview. Bring extra batteries, bring extra pens, because when you need it most, that is when the ghost inside the machine is going to screw you. And he was proven right yet again today. Well, Tamara, I got to tell you,
2021.
It is American Thanksgiving, and hey, I want to wish a happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers, but we don't celebrate it here in Canada. Ours is on October, on a Monday, and I always used to think, how stupid is that, having a holiday in the middle of the week, almost Thursday? And then it was explained to me, no, Dave, you don't understand. It's ingenious because virtually nobody goes into work on Friday. So it's 2 days off leading into the Saturday, Sunday holiday. Good old-fashioned American ingenuity when it comes to the pursuit of happiness. But Christmas, we all celebrate, or that special time of the year, holiday season, to be politically correct. And we got to promote the store, Tamara. You're already doing so with that gorgeous. I mean, I love that T-shirt. It really pops.
I will not comply.
And I know you do not comply, Tamara. That's why we love you so. And for my shirt, well, look at this, folks. Have you ever dreamed of the Menzoid under the Christmas tree? Well, the fact is, I can't fit down your chimney. I'm too fat for that. I don't know how Santa Claus does it.
No, David, you're too muscular. Look at that.
Well, I got to be honest, Tamara. As they say on those TV ads, not exactly as illustrated. Oh, boy, would I love...
Artist rendering.
Oh, yeah. I would love a six-pack like that. You know, I got to tell you, Tamara, I have actually a washboard stomach. I just have 30 pounds of laundry on it right now at the moment. So, but Tamara's shirt...
the result of COVID, right, David?
Yes, of course. But Tamara's shirt, my shirt, and look at that, festive seasonal Christmas shirts as well can be found on our Rebel News store. And you know what? You're buying unique gifts, excellent quality. There's Tamara's shirt right there. And what does that go for?
Look at that sun. He's just
What's that, Tamara?
He's just so happy. Look at that little son. He's just living his best life. It's a great little fun, quirky shirt to have. And we have so much new swag and gear in the Rebel News store. So you can find everything at rebelnewsstore.com. And our little Christmas treat to our viewers, and also to promote which journalist you love the most, which is probably me, you can use code Tamara10 to receive 10% off of your order. So make sure that you utilize that, because we have free shipping across North America on our t-shirts, I believe, all of our shirts. And so bundle up everything in your cart, because you can only use that code once. So put it to good use. That's Tamara10.
And it's funny, Tamara, that little illustration. Yeah, it's cute, but it kind of represents what we are here at Rebel News, the kind of reporters we have, whether it's you, Sheila Gunn-Reid, Adam Seuss, Drea Humphrey, myself, of course, Alexa Lavoie. We're happy warriors, much like that little picture. Even when, thugs from Antifa are there, or security guards that don't know the law and they try to bully us around, we just march right into the fray, and have got that nice little smile. And hey, when you think of it, what is the most powerful force in the solar system? It is the sun, indeed. I shouldn't give any hints for the Extinction Rebellion people, though. I mean, how soon will it be before they start complaining about the carbon footprint of the sun?
Well, and that kind of leads us to our newsy piece today, which I think we're allowed to talk about on YouTube.
Yes.
It's such a fine line these days, what you can and can't say. The Ministry of Truth has their claws on this platform very, very intensely. So yeah, it was the appointee of the Green Party to replace Anna May Paul, who had some turmoil happening, as we knew, heading into the leadership debate. And so here we have Kuttner. She was appointed Wednesday by the party's council, and she is an expert in black holes. She's a non-binary expert of black holes. And so, David, I mean, the jokes just write themselves on this, I think. She'll be the youngest person, as well as the first trans person to lead a federal political party. So trans, non-binary, I can't even keep up these days. I don't know. She looks androgynous. I guess that's the non-binary part of her identifying. David, don't assume her gender here, okay?
Oh, you know what?
She doesn't have one.
Tamara, like your police chief, who's like 6'3" and a beard, and puts his gender pronouns on his bio, does he, she, it do that as well with this Mr. and Miss Kuttner person? It's so confusing.
They must be a they, them. I think they're with Aaron O'Toole on the they, them spectrum.
It's amazing. An expert in black holes, like you say, the jokes write themselves. There's a punchline just dangling there, but I dare not say it. And, I'll tell you, in the game of human rights poker, Tamara, that's almost a royal flush, right? Visible minority, trans, I think you mentioned non-binary, young. If she was maybe disabled, that is indeed the royal flush right there. And that's how the human rights people treat things. Like, for myself, Tamara, if human rights were a poker game, I am an able-bodied, white, heterosexual male. So that's pretty much
the
7
worst.
high card, okay? And then what happens when you bring in different sexual orientations, or if you're trans, person of color, disabled, up you go on the human rights totem pole. So in terms of this person having a great human rights poker hand, it's at least a full house. That beats my 7 high card for sure. And I'm wondering, the Greens are so screwed up, Tamara. Did they pick this person on merit or on gender identity?
Well, that's a great question, because as we see that she's appointed, I guess while they wait interim to elect someone, Anna May just couldn't stick it through the rifts in the party were too deep for Anna May. But, you know, I can't touch on your question there, David, because I'm not sure, but I think you make a great analogy with the poker and having a full card on the appointee level. But, you know, Anna May, she gained my respect during the federal leadership debates when she was one of the only leaders to actually answer our questions. So it showed that she had some integrity and was willing to uphold freedom of the press. And I'm a bit sad, to be honest, that someone like that just couldn't stick it out long enough to actually elect a party leader. They had to appoint this androgynous black hole expert.
Yeah, you know, Anna May Paul, I have respect for, Tamara. She took my question at the parliamentary press debates in Gatineau. And let's cut through the BS. The reason why there was a palace coup against Anna May Paul was her position on Israel and the fact that she's Jewish. There are, I'm sorry to report, many anti-Semites in that party. They might, and that's a good question, you know, now that I think of it, Tamara. What is Miss or Mr. Kuttner's policy on Israel? I'm hoping somebody is going to ask her that so that we know that she's simpatico with so many of the members of the Green Party that drummed out Anna May Paul. And by the way, if you think I'm exaggerating, folks, the former Green Party leader who is meddling behind the scenes, we know, is, of course, Elizabeth May. And Mr. Producer, if you're able to, please drum up that video from 6 years ago, I believe it was, of Anna May Paul at I think it was the parliamentary press dinner, where she went on an absolutely surreal love fest rant for Omar Khadr and a hate fest against Stephen Harper and the Conservatives. I hope, I mean, it was the suspicion, Tamara, was that she was drunk. I hope she was drunk, because if she said those comments sober, then Elizabeth May has even more problems. But as we look for that clip, yeah, check this out.
Rosie, thank you for making it in this morning. First, though, Rosie, before we get, I know it was generally a funny affair, but before we get to that, there was a strange moment with the Green Party leader, Elizabeth May, right?
Yeah, and I flagged it to everybody because it was the weird moment of the night, and there sometimes is one, and it's also the moment where the mood sort of just went. I don't, you know, it's hard to do speeches at these events. I've had to do them myself. It's a really tough room. You have to sort of make fun of yourself and not get too serious. And I don't know that that's what happened with Elizabeth May.
Okay, why don't we play the clip and then we can talk a little bit out of it. So here it is. Here's the moment Rosie's talking about.
Omar Khadr, you've got more class than the whole cabinet. Thank you.
All right, so...
Now, she did use the full F-bomb. So she is saying that a convicted terrorist, our own homegrown al-Qaeda terrorist who killed one U.S. serviceman and partially blinded another, has more effing class than the entire Conservative cabinet. And at the last parliamentary press debates, I got to ask Elizabeth about those comments. This is in 2019, that is, Tamara. And at first she, lectured me of, well, don't you understand what the parliamentary press dinner is all about? It's about making jokes. And I thought, oh, well, where's the punchline? And by the way, how humorous do you think the widow of that soldier that was killed by Omar Khadr, do you think she's slapping her knees over that? This is a dysfunctional party full of lunatics, if you ask me, and they have no hope of forming the government, no hope of forming the official opposition. To me, Tamara, when I look at the Greens, especially now with this announcement, it is a circus sideshow.
Yeah. Oh, That is, I think, a very accurate depiction. And, on the contrary, David, I actually hope she was drunk, because you know how they say that when you're drunk, your true feelings come out. So there's some speculation there. I could speculate that it wasn't just a ha-ha joke, that maybe it was her true feelings actually coming out. But nonetheless, speaking of sideshow, let's talk about these pipeline protesters. There was a person who was actually arrested, accused of assaulting a sheriff in BC. Released on Monday, this person found herself back in custody for a time after allegedly assaulting a peace officer in front of the Prince George courthouse. According to witnesses, the woman became agitated and assaulted a deputy sheriff, and they subsequently arrested the woman and was held overnight and released with a future court date. Her charge approval remains pending further investigation. The pipeline protesters, David, what do you make of it? Are these, actual people defending their territory, or the virtue signalers coming in thinking that they know what the natives actually want?
100% on the last element. I was listening to an interview last night on radio with a native protester a native leader who said that these people have no idea the damage they're doing, that these are good jobs. They have the approval of the native bands in the area. And the host quite rightly pointed out that many of these people are just fake Indians. They're white people. They're social justice warriors. But in terms of this particular person assaulting a sheriff, we must bring up the fact, Tamara, is this truly surprising? Just 2 days ago, we had one of the icons of the environmental movement in Canada, David Suzuki, talking about blowing up pipelines. I mean, can you imagine a person of that stature basically advocating at the least vandalism, at the worst terrorism, in case that pipeline getting blown up actually kills or injures anyone? And I don't think he's brought back those talking points. And so so the very fact that his followers would assault somebody, that I'm sure David Suzuki applauds that. I'm sure he approves of that. And it is so irresponsible what David Suzuki is saying. And also, I might point out, Tamara, the hypocrisy. Oh, goodness gracious. Here's a guy we know has several high-end houses in Canada. How does David Suzuki propose that he heat his homes in a Canadian winter without pipelines bringing the oil to all the necessary places? I mean, does he have a cabal of dilithium crystals in the bank or something like that? I mean, it is just so shocking on so many levels, the grossness of the environmental movement and the hypocrisy.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is, and I've been saying it for like a year and a half now, the new normal, because you can point out all the little holes in all of what these people are saying and find exactly where it doesn't add up. They're not practicing what they preach. I mean, I'm sure some of his properties are on the coastline. He has to get those nice views. I thought, if the oceans are rising, why are all these environmental advocates buying up the beachfront properties? It just doesn't make any sense. And then getting back to his I think, his thinly veiled threat of going to blow up a pipeline. I mean, how is that not condemned by anyone for hate speech? And then meanwhile, if you so much as question, oh, we can't even get into the big V word, maybe that's our cue to transition off of YouTube. I was going to get into the people who question the narrative around this safe and effective big V.
Yeah,
What
and
do you think, Mr. Producer?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what somebody whispered in my ear. Probably to move on.